Kenny Xu is the author of the upcoming book, An Inconvenient Minority, which is about discrimination in the Ivy League and how it hurts Asian Americans in this country. He's also the host of the Inconvenient Minority podcast, and we're happy to have him on tonight. Kenny Xu, thanks so much for joining us.
Tucker, it's great to be here. Tucker, it's great to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. So you hear a lot of people, increasingly, because there are rewards for claiming to be a victim of this or that, stand up and say, I've been discriminated against. What makes these cases, the ones that you have focused on, so different is they are provable. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, we have evidence that people are being denied admission because of their skin color, do we not?
Yes, we have a lot of evidence, Tucker. Harvard University, and I tell about this in my book, An Inconvenient Minority. Harvard University grades applicants on 3 things: academics, extracurriculars, and a personality score. But what they do with the personality score, which is an entirely subjective metric, is that they use it to discriminate against Asian Americans using these invidious, vicious stereotypes against Asian Americans to say, oh, we're just test-taking robots with no personalities. That's what they're doing to try to lower our composition in these elite universities, and it's damaging our culture of excellence.
Well, that's it. And that's why I'm so offended by it. It's nothing to do with the race of anyone involved. It has to do with the American idea, which is if you work hard, if you're talented, we have a place for you. You can ascend the ladder. It's not closed to you. It's open. That's the whole point of the country. And it seems like a lot of Asian immigrants particularly kind of bought into that. They believed that was the case. That's why they came here, and they found something very different.
Yes, and Tucker, Chinese Americans know this perhaps even better than many other Americans because China underwent its own cultural revolution, right, where they discriminated, where they persecuted those who they deemed as intellectuals. It was a very anti-meritocratic ideology, Tucker, and it set their country back for many years. They're still dealing with the effects today, so they understand the lessons that what happens when you persecute those who perform, and we're undergoing the same kind of viciousness here today.
That is a fascinating point that had not occurred to me until you just said it. So they've been through this cycle of insanity, and of course an awful lot of people died in the Cultural Revolution. How do you think they view the woke revolution underway in this country?
Tucker, they're laughing at us. They're laughing at us because while we are discriminating against the most meritorious, while we're fomenting this race war, while we're talking about all of these ideas of equity and inclusion, China is just marching on ahead. They're talking with their tech billionaires. They're talking with their lead economic geniuses, and they're marching ahead in this war and this competition between the U.S. and China for tech supremacy, and we're shooting ourselves in the foot. Yeah,
if not the head. Kenny, I appreciate the clarity of what you just said and the fascinating point you made about the Cultural Revolution. Pretty amazing. Thanks for coming on. Congrats on the book.
I appreciate it, Tucker. Thank you.